chocolatey. Hi. Welcome back. Welcome to Myst. I thought before the holiday season for me here officially ends, I would jump into this as it was a holiday gift from a very dear friend or group of friends, a conglomerate. I'm not sure what the correct term is. I have never played Myst in all me days. It's like a 20-some-year-old game, one of the original puzzlers, and I've never gotten around to it. I'm really excited. I've never even seen it. I don't know what I'm in for. I imagine that they take it easier and easier on you the closer we get to now. So I'm thinking a 20-year-old puzzle game is probably gonna spread me over some toast real good. We'll see what happens. I can't wait. New game. Puzzle randomization. If you're new to Myst, we recommend Classic. Okay, that sounds like what I'm going for? Sure. Yes, please. Take me away to Puzzle Land. Tell me I am not smart enough. It's gonna be okay. Oh, I can look. I thought this was all I could see.
I realized the moment I fell into the fissure that the book would not be destroyed as I had planned. It continued falling into that starry expanse of which I had only a fleeting glimpse. I've tried to speculate where it might have landed, but I must admit that such conjecture is futile. Still, questions about whose hands might one day hold my Myst book are unsettling to me.
The Myst book.
I know my apprehensions might never be allayed, and so I close, realizing that perhaps the ending has not yet been written.
I have realized the ground so that I may catch the book. Good. Good. Alright, so somebody tumbled buttwards, I believe is the appropriate term, through the fissure, and now they've left their Myst book in my grubby fingies. It's so nice to see you. Good day to you as well. I am hanging in there after a lot of recording and editing. Said recording, so do pardon my lips and the lack of their working properly. Good evening. So nice to see you. Alright. We open the Book of Myst. Let's hope it doesn't wet our shirt sleeves. Ah, not a good sign. Right off the bat, my shirt sleeves dampened. We're zooming. Getting closer. We see an island, upon which there is a stately gazebo. However, their boat appears to be quite low in the water. Quite low indeed. However, that does not take anything away from the gazebo, really. I suppose I need to click again. Oh, that was weird. I'm sorry I did that. Good evening. So nice to see you. A good blood moon to you on this fine day. Pardon how chocolatey this is about to make my lips. It's much messier than it should be, but it is homemade. Not with love. No, but at home. By me. It's so chocolatey, all the various oils that have separated from my lack of proper whisking. So good. So yeah, I don't think this is the height a boat should be at. I'm no expert salesman. I'm pretty sure that's what they're called. Sailor. I'm no expert salesman, but I think that's a little low. Secret bunker. Case of flooding. I've pushed the button, but now I'm scared. I pushed the button so confidently. But then the fear, the paranoia. It's so nice to see you. Sir, you appear to have taken on water. It's not me so much as the boatcraft out there, the salesman's boatcraft, that's taken on the water. I thank you to keep your libel to yourself. This is stunning. I'd like to move in. This will be my cot, and here, the kitchen. A little bit further away from the kitchen, let's say 2 notches. Here's where I'll make my dirty number 2s. You have to pick a place. You do. living space is only so much, and you have to pick. What's this? I'm sorry to the good developers of Myst who are trying to put together like a stately, classical affair here, and I'm making number twos. It's not entirely my fault. I'm gonna blame the way that I was raised, because that has to be taken into account. Music still seems a little high. I'm just gonna scooch it. We'll try that. We'll try scooching it. Love you, music. It's still so vibrant. I don't know why. Could I maybe just request? That's the master. Master's probably fine. Let's try 50%. I'm sorry, music. You're lovely. It's just I cannot hear myself think. It's tolerable. We'll do it. Alright, so this seems to just turn on and off the display. This is not interactable, though it is quite pretty. And what's this? Settings for the dimensional imager. The topographical extrusion test, number 40. Marker switch diagram, number 47. And water turbulent pool. Water turbulent pool? Is that you? Number 67. What's this button? What's this button here? Number 67. Alright, so that's the water turbulent pool. It's good to see you. What was another one? 40? I suppose 47 would be easy enough to type in since it's already there. I think that was the other one. Boop. Didn't sound like a necessarily positive thing. 40 and 47. We'll try both just to see it. Okay. This is a diagram of what a marker switch looks like. Apparently. Marker switch diagram, yes. It's lovely. Thank you for this. I'm sure it will be important to the plot later. I'm really not sure. Hello, hello. Yes, this is Myst, the first one, I believe. And my first time foraying into the series. I've played some other puzzle games, like The Witness and Turing Test and things like that. I'm tremendously terrible at them. You'll get to look forward to that. Number 40. Let's check. How do you control this beast? Oh, this beast. 40. Oh. Yes, this is a very recently remastered. It's like a 2020 remaster of the original Myst, if I'm understanding right. So it does look different / gorgeous / the topographical extrusion. It's so extrudy. Okay, I guess that's all we got for now. There may be other ones hidden around, or we'll find other ones later that we can hollow image at will. Ah, there goes the music. It's just the chamber down there that makes it so luscious and orchestral. A bit much, if I could be honest with you. So this looks like I will raise the boat and then confidently stride onto the poop deck later to make my saucy number. Do I activate the marker switch? It seems like they're gonna assume you do that, so the consequence would be low. Please? Take pity on me? Well, it's on now. We are wasting power. I can hear middle-aged dads everywhere just screaming and tearing out their scant remaining hair. Here's another one. Sorry, dads. I'm pushing it. I don't know what that does. I hope we discover it soon. Am I the only one seeing a sort of glittery, angelic rainbow mirror dimension effect every once in a while? Is that a graphical glitch? As I'm scooping about? Is it birds? Am I mad? Aw, birds! Just because I referenced you doesn't mean you have to clog up the gears. That's gross. Okay, this seems to be all at the docks. Let's proceed. Let me also check if there's a run button. There is. And it's gorgeous. Alright. Now we can run confidently. Since it's a game, I'm assuming I'm not going to be shot in the face. Maybe unwise to assume, but Veers Veersarzl. Perhaps just another language. Probably not Veersarzl. Yeah, I think it's just needles on the trees making me see the rainbow mirror dimension. Do pardon. Somebody gave an anonymous gift to Kyle Thomas. I'm so grateful for that. Merry Christmas to you both, but most especially to the Kyle Thomas. What a man. What a man, what a man, what a mighty, mighty, mighty. It's pretty in here. This planetarium. See, that's the rainbow dimension. What's causing that? You saw it that time, right? I think I have a small optical seizure problem. We'll get that looked at. Where'd the pretty go? Bring back the pretty. That's a good sign. Yes, the pretty has returned, and now we dance through the cosmos. This is much how Carl Sagan was first birthed. Do pardon. Peter, do you have a notepad? I don't. I'm going to need a notepad, aren't I? I think you're right, that I'm going to need a notepad. So, I don't know what this does, and it's very complicated. I'm not going to push buttons until I know what it does. But it's beautiful. Marker switch is on. What's next? The library. Mr. Owl, I have brought fossils for you, and don't you dare tell me you've seen them before, you petulant fiend. You accept my fossils gratefully. And how dare you? Ooh. These look like recognizable areas. The docks, the gears, thanks again seagulls, the planetarium, I'm going to call it, and Hoot Hoot, the Owl Sanctuary. I don't remember activating one for this, but maybe it went with the planetarium? Or maybe it's a freebie. I don't know. You are absolutely going to need a notepad for this. This is good to know. I will try to find something in the hopes that it will carry me through. I have some blank paper that's used for delicately powdering my nose and affecting the white balance. So I'll use this and some lemon juice, and that'll be fine. You hope I have a lot of fun playing this. Thank you very much. I'm sure I will. It's already rather gorgeous. Let me hope I didn't just knock my headset clean out of alignment. Testing, testing. Alright, so, this makes me think that maybe the marker switches activate that. Let's test this theory. There's another one out here. Next to the mini-ship. Smaller tragedy. Still highly unfortunate. Okay, poop, poop. With your fingers. There you go. You got it. Get out of here, mirror dimension. You startle me so. Yes, that must be it. So we now have the path, courtyard, fountain, minor nautical tragedy. What else is down this way? We have the graveyard there, or single tombstone there. Some sort of log cabin. Some sort of non-log cabin. A couple of electrical poles. Ooh, with ladder. With attached ladder. Looks like you could jingle jangle. There's another one over here. Jingle jangleable. And ooh, a fancy spaceship. It looks like something straight out of Jules' Verne. If I can be a little saucy with my vernacular. Let's activate the spaceship. Boop. Nothing? Aww. Aw, nothing. Must need electrical jingle jangling. Okay, so that goes to this little outbuilding. Let's continue the investigation there. Thank you for the subscription as well. That is so kind of you. And hello, hello. You made it just in time for some Myst. I hope there isn't any dew. Another marker switch. Sure. I believe in on. And in we go. This is where the big man lives. The big man with his steamy, tenderizing mallet. No one knows why, but it always steams. Oh, God, he holds such hatred for humanity in his heart. And he loves caves. That's just his favorite spot to hang. And hang you will after you are tenderized by the big man. I didn't do it. That was a lot of sound that I didn't intend. I hope I'm not detected by the big man. Power? Power to ship? Generator switches. I don't see them. Where? Oh, here. I see them now. Power to ship. Generator switches? Okay, so that tracks. This is what powers the line to the ship. They are numbered. That makes me think I'm probably going to have to do them in a certain order / blow up everything on the island. But I kind of want to start poking around just to test. Maybe we could just start poking around. We'll push one button as a freebie. Alright. Power and power to ship in equal measure. Now I'm scared. Oh, good. You can release. Alright, let's see if there's any accompanying documentation somewhere. I think that makes sense. Race away from the pig man, quick as you can. Don't forget your mining helmet. He hates the light. So that's your only really chance of escape. What's this? Clock tower? Swirly handles and a big old button. Let's press the button first. Pretty sure that's how it works. Nope. Alright, swirly handles. Right button to rotate? Makes some sense. How do I rotate the other handle? There it is. Good. Okay, so we must need, again, documentation for that. What time should we set it to? Keep poking around. Is that you? Is that you, Zeus? The god of rainbows? I'll be back for you, cabin. You keep your steamy pig mallet to yourself. What's this? Smells of pine. Looks like a bit of an unfortunate construction. I'm assuming we'll know why later. I'm glad the tree is alive, but what a life. Of confinement. Brickery. Hello! You look like you're ready to explode. And such a gorgeous little diagram of the tree outside. A very important tree, I'm led to understand, by the fact that it exists in the puzzle game. A safe with 3-letter combination that works thusly. Yes, it does. Alright. For a combination there, and then... what's this? Okay. There we go. Sounds like something is flowing now. However, it does not look like the needle is increasing. My pilot light might not be lit. Probably best to leave that off, just in case. I don't want to flood the island with deadly gas my first day here. That's no way to make friends. Carefully close the door. I just got a splinter. So what am I missing? Seems to be about it on the island. I didn't check in here beyond the map, so I'm assuming that's where we go next. Otherwise, it looks like we've pretty much scoped out the first area. Plan B. Let's go. Alright, lovely. We can see all the diagrams for areas with marker switches. We have a red book. A staticky red book that disturbs me slightly. Oh, the page got sucked right out of my hands. I mean, sure, I was eating pizza rolls, but I didn't think it was... Who are you?
You must help me. Bring me
Are you trapped? Are you trapped in that goatee? And in the consequences of your decisions?
I can't see.
Bring me a red page.
Red page. You must. Please bring me. Beg of you, bring page.
Okay, he's begging. I mean, it's hard to ignore once the begging begins. Cool. I'm sorry, is this rude? I don't mean to be rude. Well, that looks like a handle. I wonder if there's a Mozart anywhere around here. We have a blue book. Alright, red and blue. A blue page to go with it. Assuming this one will also static out my, eardrums quite heartily. Yes, it does. Hello, hello? Testing?
Serious?
Cirrus, no, it's me. It's Robespierre. Robespierre, I just told you.
Miss Mackinac. Help me. Bring me pages.
His facial expression is very unpleasant to look at. Hello, hello, so nice to see you there. Or so nice to be heard, is it? You tell me. Thank you, I'm sorry. The static is just... Ooh, let me get some chocolate in me. I'll be right back with you. I do appear to just be having, like, some graphical glitches there. Every once in a while, I'm not sure if it's from the broadcast or what. If it gets to be too sickening, do let me know. So, handles... what's this? Couple of burnt books, but some of them aren't so burnt. What does this say? Channel wood? Channel wood. Alright. I have called this age Channel Wood, and it is a very different world. Though it is exactly how I imagined it, it is still amazing to see it with my own eyes. Water covers this age as far as I can see, except for a small rocky island. Sounds familiar? Elsewhere, there are only... there are only trees, which grow directly out of the water. A myriad of thin wooden passageways are built just above the water and disappear into the forest. I assume they were built some time ago, for they appear aged. I am eager to discover more about this land and its people, but I have arrived here late, and I must rest my weary, weary bones. I was awakened this morning, wearily, in my bones, by strange noises coming from a pathway adjacent to the one on which I had slept. You just slept on a pathway? It's weird. I saw a group of monkey-like people heading in my direction. They were hooting like Mr. Owl at the museum. They had not seen me yet. I did not feel threatened by their presence. No, they were quite cute. Their response to me was one that I would have never expected. After staring at me for a short time, they fell to their knees and began what appeared to be some sort of ceremonial worship. This is quite common for me, and nothing seemed out of place, really. I tried to speak to them, but they did not understand my language. Instead, they indicated through enthusiastic hand motions that I was to follow them. As we walked, I began to notice that the waters below us were changing colors. Slowly, subtly, they would change from deep blue to muddy orange, then from muddy orange to beautifully clear. I was so intrigued by the water, I hardly noticed that we had arrived at a ladder. Climbing the ladder led us to their village, which is about 10 meters above the water, and can only be reached by rope ladders that stretch from the lower paths to the village level, approximately halfway up the grand trees. It is very interesting watching these people carry out their daily tasks. Even after watching them for hours, I did not understand exactly what they were doing. At sunset, they motioned for me to follow them again. I followed the creatures to the doorway of an enormous hut. Inside, it smelled of Chuck E. Cheese, and strangely, once inside, I found that the hut appeared even larger than it had from the outside. So much room for hungry, hungry hippos. I found that the hut, I already read that, the walls were garnished with bright metals, and in the center of the hut sat the leader of these people. At least he appeared to be their leader, for he sat a meter off the floor in a thick throne, cushioned. Guards surrounded the strong creature, who was dressed in many exotic, colorful fabrics. "Hello there, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the subscription," I tried to say all at once. "That is so nice of you. Welcome back." Oh no. I've betrayed myself. Betrayed myself in my own throat. There we go. Next to the leader sat a very old human. At least, to some extent, he appears human. His hair, which was only on his face and head, was completely gray. Where else did you check him for hair? I mean, yeah, those are the normal places. Where else did you check that you know there wasn't any? It hung very long around his frail body. Okay, that's how you knew. Every inch of him. His thin head hung limply, there it is, by an almost grotesque neck that could not hold its head up to look at me. But what a surprise! This creature could speak my language. Shortly thereafter, I was given a bed with some hand motions that looked to be telling me to go to sleep. I look forward to learning more. Well, who wouldn't? As I suspected, the ancient creature is a human, hideous though he may be. He is old beyond his own reckoning, and seems almost insane. However, the tree dwellers almost revere him as a god. They are treating me now in the same fashion. Excuse me for 1 second. Oh, it's been a very long day of growling and screaming. Do pardon. All right. They're treating me in the same fashion, which makes me feel very uncomfortable. It is almost impossible to understand this old man. Cockney rhyming slang. That would be very, very difficult. Very difficult to understand this smoked ham. I'm so Australian right now, but not. I'm very offensively Australian. Where was I? It is almost impossible to understand this old man. His voice is feeble, but wild. He has adopted much of the language of the Never mind. I'll see you guys later. The Twee dwellers. He himself told me he had not spoken our own tongue in ages. He attempted to explain to me the history of this place. The following is my best translation of what he has told me. So, listen up. Many years ago, the humans and tree dwellers lived together in this place, which was then a vast island. They interacted very little. The humans dwelt on the ground, and the twee dwellers lived high above the mountains. Occasionally the island was disturbed by mysterious rumblings, oh, pardon me, which happened randomly, some sort of tectonic or volcanic action, I suspect. The sometimes slight, sometimes heavy tremors, oh, pardon me, would only last a short time, I assure you, and then they would stop, allowing everything to return to normal, thank God. One day things changed. The rumbling began and grew quickly to unprecedented levels. Soon it became apparent that the entire island was sinking slowly into the ocean around them. Many of the humans died that day, but not before sacrificing themselves in order to stop the sinking of the island. The humans who lived through this catastrophe, though hideously disfigured, moved into the trees, where they gradually died out. I can see why. Maybe because they were unequipped for such an environment, but I'm not sure. Ooh, popcorn for a second came and went. Thank you for the notification. I can definitely pull it any time. Just let me know. I will have a paranoid eye out. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Not before sacrificing themselves in order to stop the sinking of the island. The humans who lived through this catastrophe moved into the trees where they gradually died out, maybe because they were unequipped for such an environment. I went way back too far. This is the story the old man communicated to me, although many details are very unclear in my mind. I am especially confused as to how the humans saved the island from completely sinking. In fact, I doubt the accuracy of that part of the story. The island must have stopped on its own, yet the old man believes in the truth of the story as if he had been there, and the tree dwellers finally worship him. And apparently all humans, as if he slashed out, they were heroes or gods. The old man ended our conversation today with an event which I will never forget. He began gripping my hands tightly, murmuring something about rest and asleep. He then said, "We had expected you to come sooner." These actions filled me with a sort of immediate dread. Do pardon. With much effort, he stood to his feet. I tried to help, but he pushed me away. Popcorn is back. 1 sec. Hello, hello, hello. Meandering my way back in to being heard. How's that sound? So sorry. Did it mess up any of the paragraph there? I'll get real chocolatey for a second. Hoping it's okay. All right. Where was I? His rest and asleep, these actions filled me with immediate dread. With much effort, he stood to his feet. I tried to help, but he pushed me away. I was just quick again. Okay, so sorry. Very sorry it's doing that. I'm not sure. Absolutely. Nip it in the bud. He pushed me away with more force than I imagined his frail body contained. The tree dwellers quietly surrounded him with very solemn faces. They then kneeled before him. He walked to each and placed his hand on their heads. All the while he murmured words which I did not understand. Finally he turned to me and smiled. Then he closed his eyes and walked out the door and off of the narrow path. He was high in the trees, rather. The tree dwellers were silent. They began a procession down the nearest rope ladder. As I was descending, I saw several of them pick up the body. He had fallen, I think. He had fallen onto a lower level of walkway, yes, and carried away. He was laying down at the dead end of a short pier-like structure. With the use of some potion, one of the tree creatures lit the pier on fire, and I watched as the flames engulfed him. There was no fire extinguisher handy, so I just watched. As this strange funeral proceeded, the waters around the pier changed to dull green. This morning I awoke, finding it hard to even believe the previous evening's events. The water is a dull green, for as far as I can see now. For some reason the water no longer shifts color. As I wander throughout the pathways, the creatures watch me, curious to see what I will do next. They are constantly offering me strange objects of affection. I even found food outside the doorway to the room in which I had slept. This is a unique race of beings. I hope to learn their language soon so that I may learn more from them. Okay, is this a different person? It's a different color writing now. But maybe it's just later, when the ink has run dry and been replaced by... octopus quills? Pretty sure they have those. I have lived on this world for 3 months, off and on, and the tree dwellers have shown great hospitality. I am even beginning to learn bits of their language, mostly the swears. I have decided to return home for an extended stay with my loving wife and my sons. You had a family this whole time, and you spent 3 months with the tree dwellers, and hopefully return with them. However, I am sure Catherine will once again refuse. I think this age would be a wonderful experience for them all, and I at least look forward to how Cirrus and Achenar will react to its curious inhabitants. Catherine, later. Catherine is staying behind, as expected. My sons have returned with me, and they enjoy this age very much. They get along very well with the tree dwellers, and are picking up their language surprisingly fast. I have no doubt that it will not be too long until they can speak with the tree dwellers much better than myself. Later, I am leaving tomorrow to check on Osmoian age. Maybe. Cirrus has suggested that I allow him and his brother to stay. Though the idea unsettles me, I know the boys are growing up rapidly. The hospitality of these creatures is such that I could think of no better. The list is going to be very short. No better place to leave them alone for a short while. So I will consent to their request. I warned the boys not to take advantage of the respect the tree dwellers have for their ideas. They seem to understand my warning, and I have faith they will follow it. Much to my dismay, upon arriving in Ever Dunes, I learned that Pran and her people are continuing to be menaced by the Choctic. I fear for their survival, and plan on returning to her shortly. After checking on Cirrus and Achenar here, see Ever Dunes' journal for more information. I hope I will. After watching Cirrus and Achenar, I see they are handling things very well, and I think I can put to rest any fears about leaving them in Channelwood again. And for a little longer time. Make sure I didn't skip anything. Yeah. The tree dwellers seem slightly distressed that I am leaving, but are happy that Cirrus and Achenar are staying behind again. I have been gone for over 3 days, and have been to many different places. I had to tell Cirrus and Achenar about Pran's death today, and they were visibly shaken, although they only remembered her from their childhood. Catherine has suggested that it would be wise for Cirrus and Achenar to leave Channelwood for a while, and I have to agree. They will be returning with me when I leave again. I have told my sons that they will be returning with me in 2 days. They spent the entire night telling me of an adventure they experienced in my absence, and it was rather remarkable. It seems they constructed a boat with the creatures and traveled some ways out into the surrounding waters. I enjoyed hearing them talk excitedly of their adventures, and am reminded of my own adventures as a child. I finally understand why the tree dwellers have been giving me their many inks, and insisting I write with them. Many inks on display. Looking through some of my past entries, I see now that the inks have changed from the black I thought they were, to various different colors. Is this important? I have shown some of the creatures my journal, and they laughed and howled. I did not know they had such a sense of humor. Even now, as I look through this very colorful journal, I cannot help but laugh myself. Hello, so nice to see you there, and thank you for allowing us to go on this journey. The founder of our feast in the chat. Oh yes, no problem. So sorry to miss you for some of it. We will be returning tomorrow, so my sons are with the creatures for the last night here. They have told me they would like to come to Channelwood again, and also asked if they can visit some other ages alone, though I will have to think over their request. I believe they've proven to me that they are trustworthy and responsible. Catherine will also have to help me decide whether they are ready for travel alone. For now I must give my farewells to the creatures, for I do not know how long it will be until I visit this age again. Future Bridge. I'm sure that will come into play eventually. Something I should probably sketch on a notepad. We'll remember where it's hiding for now. That appears to be the last page. I'll be back. Okay, there are a couple of other books. Let's try to catch up with the reading while we're here. While my voice holds out. Emmett, make sure we're at the beginning, was the first to live on the rocks. He named them the Rocks because that is what they were, a group of sharp rocks clustered together in the middle of a large sea. This was where Emmett lived. He enjoyed his life. Emmett would occasionally swim to nearby rocks, as it was never too far of a distance. One day another person appeared on the rocks, for no apparent reason to Emmett. Emmett named this new person Branch Emmett, and Branch... there was a period in there somewhere. Emmett named this new person Branch. Emmett and Branch quickly became friends, swimming and hunting for fish together often. Emmett showed Branch the simple cave in which he lived on the largest rock. Soon Branch discovered a place where he decided to live, also on the same large rock. The sun always shone brightly in their world, and the water was dazzlingly clear, allowing them to see almost to the deep ocean floor which surrounded them. Though the sun always shone, it was never too hot for the boys. I see that comment your dad played this when you were a kid. Oh, that's so nice. I'm glad it's a nostalgic remembrance. Oh, I don't know how to get through the puzzles either, so yeah, we'll go through it together. It was too hot for the boys. A light breeze, or maybe that's not. It was never too hot for the boys, that's right. A light breeze always came from the north and cooled the area down. One day, while Branch was swimming and having fun in the water, he noticed another boy swimming. Branch brought the new boy to Emmett to find out what to call the new boy. Emmett said the boy should be called Will. Will was soon a part of the group, and all three of the boys swam and enjoyed their perfect world. At least, that is the story I was told when I arrived today on the island. Emmett, Branch, and Will were surprised to see me at first. But even before the night ended, we were all becoming good friends. Today, the second day on this newly created age, a strange thing happened. It was not strange to me, but the three boys did not understand what was happening. While I was relaxing under a large tree on one of the smaller rock islands, it began to rain. It was a nice rain that lasted for about an hour in the morning. I explained to the boys that the rain was not harmful, but they obviously still feared it. Yet they obviously still feared it. Before going to sleep tonight, I told the boys I would leave the following day. I told them that while I was gone, I would make a surprising change in their world. They did not understand, not that I expected them to. I still do not fully understand what happened today. I was experimenting with the art, testing the limits of the rules as dictated to me by Father. I attempted to create a boat by writing it into the world. I thought everything was planned correctly, yet somehow the boat had become gripped by the rock and broken in half. Although this test did not turn out as I had hoped, I now have answers to a few of the questions my father never answered. As for the boat, I can see the boys enjoy it anyway, and with that I am pleased. They have played on it all day. Even though the boat cannot move, I have enjoyed studying from it. It is a much sturdier platform than the jagged rocks. In the course of my observations, I have learned some very interesting things regarding the solar system of this age. Submersible lamp diagram. The nights are absolutely beautiful here. I have made note of and named a number of constellations that pass above me. Also, during the night, I catch glimmers of light from the horizon, which I have not been able to discover if it is created by some natural phenomenon or by additional people on far-off islands or rocks. I should very much like to discover which. I rather suspect it is additional people, which would explain the appearance of Branch and Will. The rain today was slightly heavier than usual. Just when the boys were getting used to the light rains, a small storm arrived. They were frightened of the heavier rain, not to mention the thunder and lightning. If rain has never fallen here until recently, as the boys tell me, I would like to discover why it is falling now. Regardless, I have decided to return home for a short while. I have also been thinking of some plans for a lighthouse that I hope to construct soon. I think that perhaps by shining a bright light toward the horizon, it might prove my suspicions regarding additional inhabitants. They would be curious about the light and travel to discover its source, if they have the means. I returned with many tools that I will need for construction of the lighthouse. I have decided that once it is completed I will leave for some time and let the world's own imagination have control. I'm loving the idea of this. I still don't know quite what's going on, but it sounds like someone has the ability to create worlds by writing books about them, and then you can visit those books. And I love that idea. And then especially that line to just build a lighthouse and then let the world's own imagination have control. That is so cool. We have worked 3 weeks on the lighthouse now and are making great progress. The rock that we are building on seems not to be as secure as I would like. I have had to alter my plans slightly. But those alterations pose no real problem. I see light was at one point streaming through the lighthouse, through the top, but you've crossed that out. Or maybe not. Maybe it's just handwriting. The boys are quite strong and have been helping me immensely. I estimate construction will be done within 2 days. The lighthouse is finished 2 days later, and we are all proud of our own creation. The boys are amazed at the structure wrought from rock with their own hands. That evening we powered up the generator, much to the boys' dread at first, and shined a great light to the horizon for many hours. I stayed the night in the top of the lighthouse, and in the morning awoke to observe the sunrise without my being coated with the chilly blanket of ocean dew I had become accustomed to, I see. It was Will who first saw the girl. She was swimming not far from the boat where Will was getting ready to hunt for fish. Then Will noticed a man not far away from the girl. Emmett was very pleased to meet the additional neighbors. I feel pleased to leave this age. I have set in motion events that have nothing to do with writing or the art, that will have a more profound impact on this world than I could have ever written. I think. Okay. There we go. I think of it. That's weird. Okay. I think of it, this age, as a gift to myself that I will wrap up and open some day in the future, only to discover that it has changed so much that indeed it is a surprise. Besides, I have yet another new age that awaits me. It seems I'm going to need some way to travel underwater in this new age, and so much planning is in order. It has been 10 years since I left this age, which I have since called the Stone Ship Age. Upon returning, I cannot believe the changes that have taken place. The original 3 boys have grown into adults, and there are many new faces that I do not recognize. Branch told me that it has not rained for 7 years, and the cool breezes are back again. They are all very content and have been serving me with new foods and showing me new materials they have discovered. It even seems they have found gold somewhere. I see it in many forms around the island. My lighthouse has been kept in perfect condition, and it looks as if they have tried their very best to keep it so. Yet I have noted that the entire rock it was built on has sunk approximately 40 or 50 centimeters. After a wonderful visit with my old friends, I wondered aloud with them what things will be like here in another 10 years. And now, some constellations. All right. We have an anchor, an eye, a snake, the Sixter Man. I was going to say a spider, but that's not enough. Legs, sir. We have the Assassin's Order. Pretty sure that's what that is. Definitely not the Templars. An arrow. An extinct bird. Long dead. And Toronto's maple leaves. Lovely. 3 more books, perhaps? Not seeing anything else on the top shelf here. Clicky, clicky. No. Alright. Let me wet my whistle here before the next one. So sorry. Hello, hello. So nice to see you there in the chat. Welcome aboard. Do apologize for the rainbow light show that's ripping through my corneas, even now. It has been a while since I've heard only silence, and I enjoy it greatly. I think, for some reason, I do not feel altogether welcome in this new world in which I have arrived. But how could I be unwelcome in an age with no inhabitants? It is, of course, only in my head. This world is very beautiful, but I think I have yet to ever write in a journal that an age I have linked to is horrid or disgusting. From the grassy hill where I am standing, I can see green fields below, along with a few scattered forests. A rather large lake looms some distance from where I am standing, yet the water's blue can be seen plainly from here. The air is fresh, and the sky is sparkled with white clouds. It is absolutely breathtaking, and yet, that strange feeling again. Perhaps it is the hot breeze that continues to blow from the north, hotter than I would have imagined. It almost singes my skin, and I feel quite uncomfortable when it comes. I will try to ignore it. Night has almost arrived, and the sunset is spectacular. Oranges and reds have settled above the western horizon. Though night has come, the horizon still glows red along past the sunset. Dark reds flow from the horizon and blend into the black sky. Again, the feeling, and I am beginning to believe it is not all in my mind. I must sleep now. I will need more strength. I will need my strength, even, to explore more tomorrow. I have had to return home due to an unpredictable natural occurrence more frightening than I have ever experienced. Let me tell you about it. Just pour in some gin. I was awakened by terrible shakings in the ground and explosions on all sides of me. Gigantic balls of fire were falling from the sky, and I immediately left in fear of my life. I must remember to bring a Myst linking book with me when I return, in case the one left there has been destroyed or damaged. A linking book. I have returned to a different world than the one I left only 3 months ago. It has been transformed into a barren desert land, with only gigantic craters scattered across the land to provide variety. Strangely enough, the small grassy hill where I spent my first night remains exactly the way I found it. Apparently the falling meteors did not hit this area, leaving an oasis in the midst of this horrible desolation. The hot wind, I remember, has burned or turned into a rather pleasant breeze, which is at least one improvement. I fear it is the only improvement. The magnificent lake I saw on my first visit is now completely dried up. However, another lake now exists, and appears to be quite a bit larger. I assume one of the falling meteors created this lake due to its circular shape, and the jutting rock that grows out of the center of the lake. The rest of this world seems like desert, although I will verify that statement with closer inspection. Oh, I'm so glad. You're totally not using this reading with that buttery smooth voice. Where? To rest my eyes and completely relax on a lunch break. I'm very glad. Do relax. Oh, digest in peace. It's becoming less buttery smooth. Okay, verify that statement. Though this world has little visual excitement to offer, it offers much to the ears. Sounds constantly flow through my ears, and I have found where a few of them originate. It seems, as Catherine says, I do find beauty in everything. Last night I was awakened by a horrible hissing that I found no beauty in. I was sweating, and the heat was so intense that I immediately dipped my head in a nearby stream to cool it down. The hot breezes had returned, along with a low roar from the ground. I walked a short distance to observe some red flames shooting up from the earth. Suddenly the ground began to crack, and a huge chasm opened. A fissure? The chasm continued to grow until it was far too wide to cross, and then the tumult subsided, leaving only a dull roar. I have decided, however, I can use the chasm to my advantage. Perhaps the heat from the chasm can be harnessed. Radiant chasm, collect that heat. Makes sense. Even as the chasm has ripped into the surface of this world, it has opened up a whole new world to explore. Although uncomfortably hot, I found it possible to reach a cave in the chasm that had been created, and have now explored deep into the crust of this planet. I have found a vast underground cave system that will take many years to map and explore. I will also look for a safer way to reach the underground than through the chasm wall. This age seems to change on its own, so I feel I should leave again and see if things are different when I return. It is also important that I check on Cirrus and Akinar and make sure everything is going along well. When I return, I also hope to bring back some tools I will need for my plans to explore the underground. Down in the underground. The abundance of raw materials here is beginning to amaze me. I have returned with some of the complex tools I knew I would be needing, as well as a slightly over-necessary selection of wigs I knew I would be needing. I assumed I would have to return for more basic materials. However, it seems as though I will be able to find everything I need here. Of course, iron is abundant, but I have also found titanium occurring naturally, just dripping off the walls. I am all the more excited to begin work. Everything is set, and I look forward to tomorrow. My raw materials are all here. I think I will be able to have most of my additions to this age completed within 1 year. I so love working with my hands, whether writing or building. I began today on the bridge, and although I lost interest. And the magnetic, will work well, and I have decided to... 3 meters is not enough support for the beams, although it's somewhat depends amazingly strong. Has to be one of my most prized inventions. I am extremely. Could never have imagined it to come together quite as I doubt. Could possibly work with 14 instead of 8. Completely fatigued. I am so happy to have completed tomorrow. I am leaving today in order to bring back Cirrus and Akinar. I have left them alone in Channelwood. I believe they will enjoy all there is to see here. The age seems to have stabilized. I believe the meteors set off a period of volcanic activity by piercing into the shallow crust, but the tremors have become few. I have just noticed that a large amount of this journal has curiously vanished from the very pages on which I wrote over the last 18 months. Fortunately, I have copied many of my construction notes, finally reaching the clues, in another journal. I do not understand the many mysteries of this world, but I trust I will discover logical answers to my questions. Thank you for that assurance. I have a feeling that many of my questions can be answered in another age, to which I hope to travel soon. But for now, I must simply accept this world's mysteries and take pride in my accomplishments. 1, 2, 3, 4. My neck. That's not a good sign. Sketch. That does not appear instantly helpful to me. I'm going to leave it on this and hope that we can... Yeah, so glad it does that. All right, 2 more books. We're almost there. Before arriving in this age, I was determined that it would be a journey to a world very different from my previous adventures, and it was. The sky here is dark and grey, and incessantly displays flashes of lightning in the distance. Is that what that is? Is that what that... Heimdall, stop it. I met a very old man with a long beard and hair that hangs to his waist into a tasteful belt. He is very feeble and has trouble even moving without that belt. This man has obviously been through very many things in this strange world, and I have learned many things from him. He has told me an interesting story of this world's history. Years ago, he told me, there was a beautiful city that rose up out of the water. It housed many people inside its walls, and the people had everything they wished for. The city was surrounded by 3 high hills, that's this many, which rose higher than the city. On the east hill of the city rested a large lookout post. The people of the city had constructed the post, expecting visitors to arrive from the east. The people had no means of traveling on the water, which forced them to merely wait for friend or foe. As time passed, friendly visitors brought rumors of an enemy that existed beyond the horizon. Curse you, son! The people grew fearful, yet nothing happened. One day, the usually sunny sky became as dark as night, and black ships appeared on the horizon. The lookout post's attempts at peace were turned away, and the sentries there were easily overwhelmed. The ships continued to wreak havoc on the city, apparently destroying everyone and everything. After the foundations of the city were destroyed, pardon me, trying to get this in just the right spot. After the foundations of the city were destroyed, the city sunk deep into the ocean, and only the lookout post remained. The black ships sailed away. The man continued to say that 8 people had hidden and managed to survive through the attack. In the 9 years since the attack, 2 of the survivors had died. He also said that it was rumored that 10 years from the attack, the enemy would return to finish the destruction they had started so long ago. Well, that's rude. I have decided, since hearing the man's story, it would be admirable to save this civilization and stop this enemy's plan of destruction. I am excited about the adventure that awaits me, and an idea has sparked in my mind to provide the needed defense for these people. I hope it's like Home Alone stuff. It's gonna be fun. I met the remaining survivors today and have begun work on a plan for protection. It involves this brooch. Quite tasteful. After a short absence, I have returned to this age with my 2 sons. They have, as of yet, traveled rarely with me, and they are understandably excited to be here. They have grown considerably since Everdunes, and it is already obvious to me that they will be of great help this time, instead of the nuisance they have been in the past. It's harsh to have recorded for all time. All 3 of us, along with 4 of the healthier survivors, began construction today. We are building upon the old city's ruins, which will provide a perfect foundation for our fortress. My sons have been spending much of their spare time on the South Island, where most of my materials are stored. I am very pleased with their intelligence, and their creativity is refreshing to see, as they work on some small projects of their own, including these stairs. It has been over 4 months now, and construction is going well. My sons love the world, except for its grey sky. They detest the grey sky, and tell me many times they wish the sky here were like the blue sky in Myst. The old man I first talked to tells me that the enemy is due in 4 months. I feel we will be ready when the time comes. The man reminds me of Emmett in many ways, and I often wonder how Emmett and his people are doing. It has been 6 months of work, and we finally have finished the fortress. It rests between the 3 hills, which are now only islands due to a rising water level that the people experienced after the attack. Inside the fortress I have designed a most intriguing device. It makes use of a technology called holography, or holography, perhaps. I began experimenting with it on my visits to Aspermere. It will be working in a couple of days after I compensate for some small miscalculations. This holographic device will enable the survivors to learn to use the fortress. We've seen a holographic device, so I wonder how it will teach us to use the fortress. The enemy is due to come soon, and I trust the fortress will provide sufficient protection and Cheez-Its for all of us. Lovely. The black ships have come. Thank you, vocal cords. The black ships have come. Their attack was substantial. Their weapons have been stopped, and it appears they have turned away in defeat. I could not help but smile as I watched the boats leave. Here's the insignia. Last night we had a small celebration, and the old survivors danced their dances of old. Oh, they flipped off their clogs and just cut the rug. My sons did not understand why the sky had not turned back to its original blue. The old man told them that the storms would never end until the enemy was destroyed. I assured my sons that a blue sky was not worth the risk of death, and they seemed to hear me. I have had a healthy adventure, and have begun work on a new book. Once again, I must leave a familiar age in search of a new universe. I have begun, but first I will have an extended time with Catherine, whom I miss very much. I must also return to the people of the tide. I believe in my travels I have found a substance that will ease the pain of their bone ailments. Oh, I'm sorry, people of the tide, that they have long endured. I hope to return to a mechanical age one day and find the population growing and my fortress still strong. Though the sky may always be black, I am confident the people here feel a heavier darkness has been lifted from their shoulders. All right, last book. We made it. You made it. Squeaky, squeaky. All right. Oh. Page after page of this good stuff. Since it does seem to remember the page I'm on, I'll try not to flip too far ahead. We'll start at 1 and see what that means later. So, there is a piano diagram somewhere. If it will open, there we go. Piano diagram here. There was something in here, wasn't there? Yeah, not necessarily a solution, but something in there. We will come back and reference these as needed. Thank you for bearing with me through the lore dump there. It was very interesting. So, let's try yanking one of these. Beep. Not the right one to yank. Huh. Ooh. I'm locked in. That's fair enough. This looks like that flippy thing from the diagram. Is it a furnace? Is it the furnace? Let's just press the red button while we're inside. Probably fine. Ah, so yes, we've seen those in the last book. That appears to be the board to input these. The book is gone now. I was like, where is the book? It's in the floor. I probably can't read it while it's in the floor. Yeah. We'll come back for you. What's out here? Gorgeous. Hello? I was expecting there to be an echo, but there wasn't. Not in my headphones. Open. We're at the library. That explains all the books. Take me somewhere else. Could do with a bit of a cleaning. I'm not trying to criticize. The tower. Okay. I got trapped. So here is where one day the key will show up. It is not a button. Fair enough. A book. Also not a button. And nothing. Feels like there should be something. Let's go find out why. Never mind, we live up here now. I cannot activate the ladder. I beg of you. We finally did it. Okay, Let's see what this is, or does. So we have the spaceship, which we can't open. We presumably need to power it with the generator that we don't really know the value for. We could go back there and start hitting buttons. But there may be an actual solution. Is this a dial on the map? Ah, yes, I can twist it. Okay. Also sounds like a very big whooshy noise. Is that metallic window we got a peek of up there? Let's see if that's moved out of any curiosity. Or out of some curiosity. I have it. I'll cop. To the tower. I am finding it tremendously captivating so far. I love these kind of puzzle games that are just no real explanation. Go push buttons and figure it out. It's one of my favorite things. Ooh, we have a key now. 240 and 221. Here's where that notepad comes into play. Let me see if I have a pen. I do have a pen. I also have some post-it notes in there. That might help. Okay, so this was like pointed towards gears, I'm gonna say. Just gonna call it gears, and I'm gonna say 240, 221. Gotta do it the official old-fashioned way. No cell phone photos this time around. Alright. I say that now. When there's like a big combination or something that I'd have to sketch out, definitely cell phone photos, don't worry. Definitely gonna go back on that promise. Yes, so now we can see out the window at the gears. That makes sense. So where we're pointing is presumably involved with the information they're giving me there as well. Though I don't know where I would input any numbers of that sort over at the gears. We'll figure it out. So we may have to find a couple of these. Let's see how many locations illuminate on the map. We'll start there. I want to solve just a couple of puzzles if my brain can handle it before we quit, but we're already over an hour here for the session with my lore dump there. Thank you for bearing with me. And my chocolatey lips. Oh, goodness. So where else can we point this? Stay, microphone. Don't make me spank you. Alright, next one over seems to be the docks. Let's see what they have to say about that. Bit of a shame to have to take the elevator with like 3 button presses every time, but it was 20 years ago. They didn't know yet. Just adds to the manual, mechanical feel of it. I like it. Alright, what do we got? I'm not sure if this would equate better to the planetarium. This might not be docks. It might be the planetarium ahead of the docks it's pointing to. So I'm going to mark this one planetarium. That's an M at the end, not an N like you tried first time. And this is a little much, but we'll just sketch it out real quick. October 11th, 1984 at 10:04. January 17th. $12.07. Very good year, that. A lot of Spaniards running about. It's probably not accurate. 5:46 a.m. And November 23rd. "9791. The distant future. The year 3000. 6:57. Alright, I don't think I'm gonna need AM or PM, but I'll just note those down just in case. Who knows? Time travel, you have to be very careful. Okay, and just to double check where this is pointing, though it will cost us 2 ladder journeys, I'm so sorry. It seems to be towards the docks more than the planetarium, but I'll trust you. I trust you. Oh, thank you for the bits. That is so nice. And yes, note-taking is advised. I have been warned multiple times now, which is very, very helpful. Thank you. So let's see if we have any more stops on the dial. Assuming we do. That must be the tree over there, right? Next to the cabin. Weird tree. We don't know what it is yet. So close. We could probably do this in stages and point to an area, collect the information, and then go try to figure out that area before moving on. I'm sorry, I'm doing all the information gathering phase first. So this is pointed to, I guess I'm just gonna call it tree? Though that is a 3-letter combination, and the cabin is right there with the safe. It might just be the cabin's safe combination. So I'm gonna say cabin tree. What? Cabinetry? 724. Alright, I finally believe that the window is pointing where we believe it is. No more ladder journeys for me. No, thank you. Give me just 1 second here while we're traveling downwards. I'll be right back with you. Now I've paused it so we're not traveling downwards anymore, but I'll still be back. So sorry. I had to check on my cabinetry. I'm back. Let's descend. Alright, there's at least one more of these. We may be then getting close to the end. Probably spaceship 2. If there isn't one straight down the middle here. And there isn't. Weird. There is, I'm assuming. Ah, no information about the generators. Spaceship? Yes, there is information about our friend the spaceship. Maybe they're connected via electrical wire. Alright. I think this might be our last time. We should be all the way around to the board now, so we'll have all our information. We'll go try to make use of it. That should hopefully be a more exciting part. And then we might be nearing the end of our first official Myst session. 59 volts. That sounds like it goes with the generators, doesn't it? I will say spaceship/generators. This looks like a serial killer's ramblings on an old newspaper. I just want you to know. I'll show it to you later when it's really fleshed out and serial killy. Ship/gen. Yeah, that's what a serial killer would abbreviate it. 59V. I'll remember that it's volts. I promise. I promise. Okay. Let's go do some stuff. Let's go solve some puzzles. Take me down. So the first one, I'm fairly sure we now know how to solve, if not for the safe code. Safe code's probably pretty easy to solve now. Do both. There's time for both. Let's head to safe code. And then generators is the other one that I have a good grasp on. I don't know yet what to do with these. We haven't tried them, I suppose. I recognize that endangered bird. What is it doing? I thought there was a visual effect, but I think it was just my rainbow thing happening again. I was like, oh, is it changing reality around me? Okay, quick check in here. 724, right? Let's go this way. I'm finally learning about cyclical menus. No, that's not the one I'm on. Why would you do such a thing? 724. Ah! First puzzle solved like a genius, and there's our pilot light. Alright, so this is still off. Safety first. Squeaky, squeaky. And ignite. Do it. That hit me in my back pocket. Okay, assuming the pilot light is lit. Yep, you can see it now. It's so cute. Look at that little pilot light. Let's get some steam heat. All the way up? I don't see why not, I guess. Sure. So what does this have to do with the tree? The tree is an elevator that only goes up. Interesting. So I'm assuming I can lessen the pressure to lower it again, and then perhaps descend deep, deep into the sea. That sounds fantastic. Give me 1 second before I forget how many volts goes in here. I'm just gonna... Because I have to be honest, the spaceship, out of all of the things, elevator tree, pretty intriguing, no pun intended, but the spaceship, that's where my heart lies. So 59 volts, and I'm assuming the idea is we can't go over, or else it will blow. Do we know? Are they actually these values, or is that just how they're numbered? Because I think I pressed number 1 and it gave me 10 power. Yeah. So it's just how they're numbered, seemingly random amounts of power. We have a 7, we have an 8, we have a 16. that? I'm terrible with numbers, but I think if I do... Is this gonna take me over? This was 9, right? 59 volts? Power to ship? Does it taste good? I don't know if that's what I'm supposed to do. Seemingly nothing happened. Let's go check it. Oh, that's buzzing now. Oh, maybe I need to clear it through the lines. This one definitely seems on. Good. Let's try hitting the other one too. It sounds on. I haven't received any visual confirmation yet. Let's try the door. The audio confirmation is strong. Oh, sweet. And there's the keyboard thing. The organ, I should say. My apologies, sir. So we should be able to go back to that book. Maybe I can steal a sneaky little naughty cell phone photo of that one. Don't tell anyone. And what is this? Looks like I shouldn't touch it. Oh, it looks like I shouldn't touch it at all. Let's push it. Ooh. Fancy. If you don't want to do it the old-fashioned way, you can get on the synthesizer. I like it. Boo. Boo to your musical code. I'm sorry, it was all at defaults. It wasn't me. Ah, is it clicking a bit? Yes, it's not just that electrical wire. Hey. How's that sounding? And thank you so much for the multiple warnings there. I really appreciate it. So sorry for the audio issues. So, we will figure out the key code to that. What else did we have? Dates, perhaps, for the planetarium? I don't know what that would give us. Oh, is this a... Oh man, I walked right past a huge note. Catherine. We've heard that name before. I've left for you a message of utmost importance in our forechamber beside the dock. I think I know which one. Enter the number of marker switches on this island into the imager to retrieve the message. Okay. How many marker switches are on this island? There's 1. There's 2, 3. I think that's all over here. Maybe I can easily tell from the map diagram? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't think some of these count, like the building itself, the library, doesn't have a marker switch, does it? But that one does. That one does. That one does. So 8? Let me visually check. 3 over there. 4, 5, 6, 7 across the way, and 1 at the spaceship. 8, I think. Okay, let's go to the forechamber. I can't believe I missed that. That's probably the first thing you're supposed to find. I do apologize. Now maybe we'll have some instructions to guide our way. Still on the old topographical extrusion. My favorite. So, 8. And activate.
Catherine, my love, I have to leave quickly. Something terrible has happened. It's
Oh,
hard
hello,
for
sir.
me to believe.
I'm sorry.
Most of my books have been destroyed. Catherine.
Ooh, fancy.
I suspect Achenar.
Can view that gorgeous mug from any angle.
I'll find him and Cirrus as well. I should have known not to have left my library unchecked for so long.
So this must be the gentleman we've
I've
been
removed the
reading
remaining
his diaries.
books from the library and placed them in the places.
There's a better way to say that.
You shouldn't have to use the books until I return, but if you've forgotten the access key, remember the tower rotation, and don't worry, Catherine. Everything will be fine. I'll see you shortly. Oh, and erase this.
Wow,
message
that
after
clue
you
would have
leave
been
just
nice.
to be safe.
Luckily, it was fairly self-explanatory, just from exploring around, but... So he said delete this message, just to be safe. Okay?
Catherine, my love.
Is that...
I have to leave quickly.
Gonna push it a lot. Just gonna...
Catherine,
Delete.
my love.
Delete!
Catherine, my love.
It's just replayed. I don't know how to do that. I need a manual for the imager. I need to know the product codes for the holographic imager. Okay, so he said to effectively follow the clues from the tower, as I think we have so far. Let's continue down that path, see what else we can figure out here. I am curious, now that we have the spaceship on, we'll return to the book to find the musical code in a moment. I'm scared of the planetarium, so let's go back to this, tree elevator. It's currently at its highest position, I'm assuming. So if I take it down a bit, and then run for it... Oh, I just run my whole huge ass off. How about that? Down we go. I feel like I dropped a piece of myself back there. I'm not sure which one. But I ran it right off. That worked remarkably well. I was worried I didn't follow through to the absolute extent of the pressure valve, but we did. It's fine. And we can work it from down here. Great. So, what is this? This looks like some of that connected wooden walkways they were referencing. And the Channel Wood logo, perhaps? Is this Channel Wood? It seems so. We're transitioning through our second linking book. I'm not sure who we are or how we got access to the Myst book from inside the fissure, but we're now going to Channel Wood. It's all coming together. This might be a perfect time to stop, though I'm dreadfully sorry for the cliffhanger. I do need to run and start getting food ready, or I'm never going to eat tonight. Is mostly what's on my mind. However, the solving of puzzles and the salvation of humanity/monkey-like creatures from Channelwood is also heavily on my mind. So we have walkways, we have pipes, we have a swampy sitch. I'm feeling a real rainbow connection sort of thing going on. Why are there so many wooden old walkways? And where do the puzzles lie? If I was to pull this, will it kill me slowly? Gotta say I'd rather... So, we must not have pressure or whatever it is we need there. I should stop, because now I'm interfering with the next session where we explore Channelwood. You know, the session where we explore Channelwood. I've begun it. That's now. That's what we're doing. How do you stop playing a game that piques your curiosity? I don't understand. I don't understand the question. I see. Yes, truly the puzzle has all become clear to me. Thank you, guys. This truly has been a joy. I'm sorry that it's not a nostalgic experience for me, but I'm so glad. I'm such a grateful person. I'm such something that it's nostalgic for you guys, because that's amazing. It's like I get both of the experiences at once. The newness of a blind playthrough, and all the nostalgia of old friends. Not to call you old friends. I mean, we barely know each other. I didn't mean to jump ahead. It is so nice to see you guys. I will figure out what the many channel switches of Channelwood actually mean and do. And we will be back with you next time. Thank you for hanging on with me. Through a little bit of puzzle solving, we'll continue ASAP. Try to keep this going along with our Psychonauts 2 adventures. I didn't call you old, I called you old friends. Like the kind you would invite in for coffee cake. That's all. No, I did. I called you old, and I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I will see you guys soon. Thank you again for the gift of this. It is an absolute joy and an absolute pleasure. I'm especially glad you got to catch some of the first session here. Until next time, I will see you guys soon. From me and my notepad full of serial killer ramblings, love you lots. Bye for now. Just caught the end. Bye. So nice to see you.